Alright, try a little experimental video here. There's two videos that I watched the beginning of the first part of them, and I'm like, oh dear, babble babble. And I haven't watched the rest, so we'll just do a piece of this one and a piece of the other wacky one, and we'll see if they say anything really, really wacky.
I'm interested in that. Let me guess, it's turtles all the way down. You know what I mean? Thought it's so funny. He says, let's see here. Let's see if I can't give some of the examples. We'll take time, There's a present, but we get outside of the present by postulating some past or some future. Well, in some way, we're recognizing this limit, the present, but then we're never just stuck in the present. We leap outside it into the future. But then that future...
No, you're still in the present. You're still the feeling thing. The people in the past are dead. The people in the future don't feel yet. So you're the only thing that's really alive at the moment. And the fact that you can, you can live looking out the window, right? Ooh, I'm looking out the window. Or I could watch a movie of looking out the window, right? I have a video of this exact scene. I could look at the video. Ooh, no different. It's the same thing. One's reality, one's not reality. But my brain will be doing the same thing with it. It's the same bullshit. So past, present, future, doesn't matter which one I'm thinking in. I can think anywhere. I'm still doing the thinking. I'm still the thing in the present doing the, ooh, I feel that. So who cares? This is kind of babbly. Alright, so now this silly person. Yes, a little bit silly. Eyes are going wandering. Projection. She's talking about projecting.
What does that leave me to talk about?
I don't know. Can you think of something? I don't know.
When I realized this to be true.
Yeah, she's projecting.
I was watching a movie this evening called Lions for Lambs.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's a really good movie.
Oh, cool.
It definitely is one of those movies of many where
get to the point.
You can watch it.
Please.
And you can get out of it.
Yeah, eat popcorn.
On a you can get the messages.
Maybe, possibly.
On a superficial level, or the meaning that.
Yeah, kind of maybe has a story to it.
The meaning may be on a superficial level, but if.
Well, whatever, man. I didn't know it was that bad. Holy shit. Oh man, you could watch a story on it, and then you could see that there was a story in the story. The story was about a story, and it was, you could see the story and say, wow, there's a story. I watched the story. The story was sort of interesting, but why was it interesting? Wow, why was it interesting? Why was it interesting? Oh, I'm sorry. Where am I? Oh, I don't know. Okay, here we go. Back to reality.
Has a kind of boundary, which, in order to recognize it as a boundary, thought is already outside of it. It's past it. It deals with it in terms of this dialectic, I guess, of distance. He says here, that we are cognizant of our knowing and our not knowing, and are likewise aware of this broader cognizance, and so forth into the possibility of endlessness. This is the real infinity of vital movement on the level of the intellect. Every limit is herewith transcended, but of course only as a result of the fact that it is set. That is, there exists something to transcend. And he goes on these...
yeah, right. Yeah, sorry. What? So we can contemplate forever, but there's a limit to how much forever how many potato chips you can eat, I guess. You can imagine a lot of potato chips. You could transcend the limit by just adding one more potato chip. Maybe that's what he's saying. But I don't know if that has any practical value. Can you really transcend the reality? I mean, if I spell it out for you and say, okay, it's a replicating DNA molecule, 4 billion years of evolution, we're just basically gladiator machines in a pointless, futile fight to basically say, I win, and get squished like a bug. How you transcend that with anything? There's no transcendence, there's no, I'm going to rise above the pointlessness of the game. You know, I mean, it's back to the tic-tac-toe analogy. What would this guy say about tic-tac-toe? How are you going to transcend the stupidity of it? You can't win, no point in playing. Only dumb people can play the game and have fun. You're going to transcend that fact by doing what? Bashing your head with a hammer until you're dumb enough to think you can win? And that's all it takes, right? That's all life is. Life is just being dumb enough to think there's some way to win the game. Like somehow you're going to gain your satisfaction without exploiting a bunch of other feeling things, and that somehow you're going to get through your life producing more than you're going to consume. Like you have a realistic hope of doing that, and that the game itself has some sort of realistic hope of doing that, when it obviously doesn't. It's a bunch of fucking DNA molecules chasing each other down to steal each other's energy. It's insidiously stupid. There's no way to transcend insidiously stupid. Jeez. Jeez. Let's do some more of this wacky.
But that movie is so profound.
Okay.
And I can just imagine on how many different levels that people might walk away from that movie with so many different projections, as far as the meanings that one could surmise that are...
God, wow. So yeah, so every movie somebody could see something different in it. That's true. They could say it's a metaphor for, and they could just make up some crap. But, you know, so that's sort of interesting. Okay, I'll grant you that. But, I mean, you really should talk about it is in some sort of context. Like, this presumption that I've seen some, you know, Lion Ate the Frog movie is just kind of silly.
Not just in your face, but meanings that are below the surface. And that movie was so incredibly amazing in that respect, because I found myself
your eyeballs flew out of your head, and now they're not wired to your head anymore. They drift all over the place in an erroneous manner. They just fly around the room just saying, where do I belong? Because they can't find their focus anymore because they've been so amazerized by the movie.
Many different occasions throughout watching that movie, spinning these thoughts around in my head, these ideas on many different levels within one given...
Just forget it. Yeah, forget it. Nothing's gonna come out of this but a headache. So, last try, Professor. See how you do.
He says, you know, this really does introduce a kind of paradox, because in the history of philosophy, we end up with something like this, you know, he says this sort of sum-up philosophy, and I guess he's tracing it down to, what, Goethe, but he says, you know, man is something that is to be overcome. And he says, logically considered, this too presents a contradiction. Who overcomes himself is, to be sure, the victor, but he is also the defeated. He says, yet contradiction only arises when one hardens the two aspects of this unity into opposed, mutually exclusive conceptions. He says,
yeah, if you follow the mathematical rule. So yeah, just forget about the negative signs and the plus signs and just think about 1 and 1, and then you're okay. Yeah, so just cheat. Just cheat, and then it all can make sense. Just cheat the logic. Just say, fuck logic, fuck those rules. Let's just deal with it as, you know, let's just turn it into something we are familiar with, and there we can play with. So let's just turn life into puppy dog, and then, you know, oh, just pet, pet, lick, lick, happy, happy. Yeah, fuck.
But that's really not what's going on. He says, that man overcomes himself means that he reaches out beyond the bounds which the moment sets for him. There must be something at hand to be overcome, but it is only there for the purpose of being overcome. So, as an ethical agent, man is the limited being that has no limit. This notion of the limited being who has no limit.
Yeah. I mean, you can't, I mean, who would talk like this? Who would talk like this? I mean, I'm supposed to make sense out of this stuff. You know, the invisible man who is not invisible. I mean, I just can't do anything with this. The tallest man who is in fact shorter than everyone else. Yeah, okay, fine. What? It's just hopeless. Hopeless, 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 hopeless. Circular crap. That's all. That's all people have. Hopeless, mindless crap. Just circular crap. I am, therefore I am. Yeah, okay. Fuck you. It's stupid. That's all I can say. This is stupid gobbledygook. It's gobbledygook. It's junk. It's garbage. It's crap.